The Spanish royal family has been forced to deny that scandal hit former King Juan Carlos is seriously ill after rumors began circulating in the country's media. Pilar Ayer, regarded as a leading expert on the Spanish royal family, sparked concern on Monday when she tweeted that the 83-year-old is in a serious condition and the royal household is considering the possibility of transferring. The rumors were quickly downplayed by the royal household, which insisted Juan Carlos is in good health, with Hola magazine carrying a quote from the king which said, "I do 2 hours gym every day and I feel fine." The rumors began after recent images of the monarch, who abdicated the throne in 2014 and then fled to Abu Dhabi last year amid a tax investigation, have shown him. One picture, taken in December last year, shows the King Emeritus in his Middle Eastern bolo being supported by 2 bodyguards while walking in. It was the first photo to emerge of Juan Carlos since he was pictured arriving in Abu Dhabi at the start of August last. The monarch left Spain after Swiss prosecutors opened an investigation into bank accounts he allegedly held intact. He checked into a £10,000 a night presidential suite at the 7-star Emirates Palace following his arrival. The possibility he would return to Madrid for Christmas had polarized the political debate in Spain in the run-up to the festive season before it was ruled out by Juan Carlos himself. He attributed his decision to the coronavirus pandemic and the fact he was a high-risk person because reports at the time, refuted by Spain's royal household, said he had been admitted to a private clinic in Abu Dhabi after testing positive for corona. Juan Carlos is facing 3 separate criminal probes in Spain. Share this article. Share 1 is related to the use of credit cards linked to foreign accounts after his June 2014 abdication when he lost his constitutional protection against prosecution as a serving monarch. Prosecutors are trying to establish if the monarch accessed funds deposited in accounts held by a Mexican businessman and a Spanish heir. Spain has also launched its own investigation based in part on information shared by Switzerland about cash Juan Carlos allegedly received as part of his involvement in a high-speed Saudi Arabian rail contract. In December, the ex-monarch's lawyer announced he had paid more than £600,000 in back taxes with interest and surcharges for the years since his. Spanish authorities responded by saying they were analyzing the tax payments to see if they were spontaneous, truthful and complete. Juan Carlos' shocked departure from Spain at the start of August led to an intense questioning of the country's monarchy led by left-wing Vice President Pablo Iglesias. Several interviews by the former king's ex-mistress Corinne Wittgenstein, now living in the UK, have not helped. She was implicated in the scandal surrounding Juan Carlos' rule after it emerged he had given her a gift of £57 million. The 57-year-old blonde has claimed he gave her the cash gift because he was adamant about taking. She also insisted in a TV interview last year Juan Carlos was the architect of his own problems and described his Middle East exile as the ultimate defeat. Spain's current king, Juan Carlos' son Felipe VI, made a veiled dig at his exiled father and the scandal surrounding his family and his he said in a televised address that ethics are above family ties. The last photo of Juan Carlos was taken on December 29 on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, home to the Yas Marina circuit which is the venue for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Juan Carlos, in his letter to Spain's current king Felipe VI announcing his decision to leave his homeland, wrote, "Guided by my conviction I can offer the best service to Spaniards, its institutions and to you as king. I am communicating my decision to move away from It's a decision I am taking with deep feeling but with great serenity. I have been king of Spain for almost 40 years and during that whole time, I've always wanted the best for Spain and for the crown." He signed off the letter, "With affection as always, your father." It later emerged he had already left Spain by the time the letter was released by the royal household. His departure sparked mixed reactions, with monarchists and right-wing politicians accusing the government of forcing him into exile and critics of the former king accusing him of an amateur attempt to protect himself and his son from the corruption scandals threatening the future of Spain's dwindling royal. Barcelona-based author Pilar Ayer, an expert on the Spanish royal family, made an explosive claim about Juan Carlos and Diana in a book she published in 2020. She said the Spanish monarch made a pass at her during a holiday Diana and Charles spent with their son at the King's Summer Palace in Mallorca in 1986. According to Ayer, the king made a tactile advance to Diana, then just 25. Diana herself denied anything untoward had happened but admitted that while the libidinous king was charming he could be a little too Who is Spain's former king, Juan Carlos I? He was a popular monarch for most of his 4-decade reign who played a critical role in the country's transition to. He is the grandson of Alfonso XIII, the last king of Spain before the abolition of the monarchy in 1931 and the subsequent declaration of the Second Spanish. Juan Carlos was born in Rome, Italy, on January 5, 1938, during his family's. He came to Spain in 1947 to continue his studies and entered the Zaragoza military. He completed his tertiary education at the University of Madrid and went on to marry Princess Sofia of Greece and Denmark in Athens in 1962. They went on to have 2 daughters and a son together, Elena, Cristina, and Felipe. Juan Carlos first began periodically acting as Spain's head of state in the summer of 19. Fascist dictator Francisco Franco died in November the following year, and Juan Carlos became king on November 22, 1975. 2 days after Juan Carlos was hailed for his role in Spain's transition to democracy and reforms to dismantle the Francoist. However, the king and the monarchy's reputation began to suffer after controversies surrounding his family. In April 2012, Juan Carlos faced criticism for an elephant hunting trip in Botswana during a time of financial crisis. The public found out about the trip only after the king injured himself and a special aircraft was sent to. Spanish officials stated that the expenses of the trip were not paid by taxpayers or by the palace, but by Syrian businessman Mohammed Ayad Kayali. Corruption scandals circling the royal family closed in when his daughter, Princess Cristina, was accused of tax fraud in 2014 and became the first Spanish royal to stand trial. She was later acquitted, but her husband was sentenced. He abdicated in favor of his son, Prince Felipe, in 2014, and last year, Juan Carlos announced his decision to withdraw from public life, ending his remaining institutional functions and appearances from June. Last August, he successfully underwent heart surgery in Madrid. In June 2020, Spain's Supreme Court prosecutor opened an investigation into Juan Carlos' involvement in a high-speed rail contract in Saudi Arabia that was granted to a group of Spanish companies in 2011. King Felipe renounced his own inheritance and stripped his father of his palace allowance in March after reports the latter received $100 million from the late Saudi king and gave millions to an advertisement.